Number 1194, this is the most powerful broadcast in world history. Keith Brent Duncan. This goes all the way back to 1972. This is DuncanClaim.org that proves forever that we were illegally detained 900 days, 6 times. Here's the current address of Robert D. Rose. It involves turnofflights.com to save basically all electricity usage, and it goes back to benefits to shareholders where we control every leader in the world. This is Fortune1.org, worth $40 billion for everyone to call, join. This is also one of our most famous people that we met in Philippines, whose Office of the Presidential Advisor Communication Group. Pay attention! No more Wall Street publicly traded stocks, only privately held corporations. Number 1193, built by Keith. Call us directly. No more political parties or violators worldwide. It's caused by the publication of the Metaphysics.Foundation from Keith Brent Duncan. We, God's people, now treat every single leader as only a highly paid cash project manager. No more crime worldwide. 1194, built by Keith. Review of February the 17th, 2023. 11 years ago, I'm sitting in Cherokee County Jail on a canceled TPO 11/1/11/71, canceled July 15th. My brother, Douglas Vernon Duncan, is an international cyber criminal in the logging industry, Cary, North Carolina. What happened to me happened to you. How much basic can this possibly be? We've published everything. We've already turned over every criminal in the world and the terrorists and the cyber criminals to the correct, appropriate authorities. First police, then the IRS, then the FBI, then the Attorney General, and then to the ultimate law enforcement agency, solutionmilitary.com. That we performed successfully on September the 25th, 2011. And we were subsequently criminally illegally detained 848 days precisely from October 3rd to January the 28th, 2014, when all the false charges were finally dismissed. During that 2-year period from February the 12th, 2011 until January the 28th, 2021, we were most criminally persecuted, threatened, and told that we were a nobody. We had already provided every solution in the world to save mankind. That is the use of Evote.one, store and forward, FOIA.ONE. And the whole answer has always been Gods Hunocracy.org. You see, the whole problem is the whole world's been brainwashed, go read Matthew chapter 23, to think that your assets, your life, your soul, your mind and body are yours to control. No, it's the exact opposite. The criminal ruling elite can think of a no better, more accurate biblical diplomatic term, have figured out how to legally embezzle God's assets. The destruction of Hunocracy.org was the destruction of everything, including my very own businesses that would have generated $20 million a year only on bidonkeith.com. So we resurrected that. All the other solutions we have perfected and delivered. That's why I've always felt, particularly after Robert D. Rose cyber criminal terrorists tried to kill, literally, all key live eyewitnesses so that he would not go to prison and death row with his wife, Amy Rose. The other people are so clearly listed on DuncanClaim.org, 22-1 3046-68, I believe, or 3042. There it is, 3042-68, that we published also in the upper left-hand corner of DuncanClaim.org. You see, the entire system is designed to create only a middle class. No elite, no New World Order, no one world anything, except Fortune1.org, which is a group of overseers composed of the richest people in the world, which is called givingpledge.space. How much cleaner can this be? And I was speaking at about 1/3 speed because I did learn to speak, let's call it a mile a minute, with National Speakers Association, nspeakers.org, and ceospace.net. But I learned a long time ago that if you don't serve and protect the people, they, which is you, we, them, will never protect anyone else. That's why we currently have WorldWar4.org that's led by people that all claim devil's advocate, which is the old brain set brainwashing of leave it alone, forgive and forget. They would never allow we, the people, to take over their authority. Well, who gave them the authority in the first place? Is it not clear that with the multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme, that the super wealthy are the only ones that make the laws, regulations, bids, contracts, the things that run our economy? Our system collapses it. It's an upside-down Christmas tree where everyone's the Southern Star with their feet on the ground, and the branches happen to be the proxy system of Evote.one. And the beauty of Evote.one is that it involves retroactive investigations of the general ledger books, the court documents, the trading journals, everything that's required to clean the slate. That's done universally with God's generator, 5steps.life. About the only person who we've paid who actually delivered anything at all is Tom Hegg from Lost Wages, Nevada. And he's guilty of some crimes also, but he's willing to come clean, and he's willing for you, he is willing for you to hire him to teach him solutiondrugs.com, which is called self-salvation. See, I've been quoting and living scripture my entire life. Not one time have I ever stalked, harmed, violated, threatened a single soul my entire life. It's never been my God-sent nature. I'm the most prolific inventor, most humble, scientist, engineer, professor, humanitarian, frontliner, gifting, angel guardian protector, philanthropist. We give everything back. So in the USA government, named person, particularly Governor Brian Kemp, the local Attorney General Chris Carr, and particularly the FBI Director J.C. Hacker, actually call me back and invite me to come in and debrief them. See, we're talking to everyone, particularly in Atlanta, but we're really talking to Raphael Warnock in Washington, the Georgia rep. We're attending as many Democratic and Republican meetings that have occurred after, and call it what it is, rigged election. That's called the primaries, where we always vote for the lesser of two evils. That doesn't make any sense. With Evote.one, it's going to be the proxy system, where we have a whole line of people lined up and anyone can change their vote right up to the deadline. And you can assign a proxy. Every time someone votes on your behalf, you get a text message and an email, and because it's an open public database, Freedom Open Information Action.one, you're going to know exactly what's happening. You control the decisions of building the next best infrastructure project. You are now held fully accountable and responsible for dealing with not only your own internal issues, but your family, your community, your mayor, your council, city councilman, the judges, the police chief, and we no longer have an FBI, Attorney General, Homeland Security. No more of these INS. No more, well, we're going to need a Department of State, because their only focus on Department of State is to negotiate treaties and to secure your community, not secure their borders. That makes no sense. Everyone who works for a living deserves to get paid first. The training program we have donated and gifted, it's worth between $30 and $40 million, to Peachtree Road United Methodist Church, PRUMC.org, particularly focused on Bill Brett and Josh Miles, as well as everyone else. See, our whole focus, we've always been lay outreach ministers, people who go to the scene of the worst problems and do disaster relief. God sent me, and I accepted, to go to China February 12th, 2015, after I spent an entire year going back to the required every single level of government and the press and the public, identifying Cobb County TPO 11-1-117199 that had been canceled, dismissed, only because I went to Barry Victor Reynolds and everyone else. And I was told specifically, I cannot speak about the case, or that would be a violation. I cannot engage anyone. I can't talk to the FBI. I can't talk to anyone because that would be a violation. That my homes had been robbed by Miss Bashama, $40,000. And the police knew it, particularly J.C. Scott and Benito and everyone else. And they said, oh, you're stalking Miss Bashama. Excuse me, she just freaking robbed me. And I did a citizen's arrest on February the 3rd, 2011, after returning from Florida Teachers Conference, selling, obviously, icstand.org that was registered as Creator Key. So I have an insurance policy, $2 million for what people did to our corporation. I've got a $1.2 million insurance policies on my cars were gone, my homes are gone, my bank accounts, my 401k, and the worst crime of all was the destruction of unocracy.org. You see, we can find no one who has common sense. We have no one that has a backup plan. And you're being, politely put, you're being scammed and defrauded of your entire nest egg because you put all your eggs in one basket, trusting a wealth manager, a broker. You're trusting everyone except for not only trusting God and Jesus Christ and the other highly authorized angels from heaven. You're failing to trust the best people in the world, which happens to be our spiritual leaders here and every single one of your local churches, synagogues, and temples. You see, people have gone this weird direction of, I have no clue what is binary non-gender. And when they use the word divestiture, they use the word diversion, they use the word devil's advocate, they use the word crime, sex, gambling, drugs, adultery. They've all been legalized. So we'll publish this as 1194, built by Keith, on February 17th. All of these will indeed create an only middle class where $1 buying power will now be $1 buying power 1,000 years from now. So we've already gone through the series of called tribulation, particularly for the last 2,000 years, because people forgot how to love and care for each other. They forgot how to actually protect their neighbors, which is love all others. And people still don't understand the significance of go forth and make disciples of all other humans. Dealing with the human problems is now reversed with the use of Keith Rules of Order, might be with an S, and peacesummit2020.com, which is the original tribal method of a town hall forum. Everyone comes, sits around a round table, and they decide how to solve their own local infrastructure problems. And when they solve it, they do it right the first time, no slackers involved. And who's going to train and educate the masses, particularly the young people? Well, that would be ceospace.net, Fortune1.org, as the world's most powerful, wealthy, gifting, angel guardian protector philanthropists who are the problem solvers of the world, including Elon Musk and a few others that know how to solve problems. We're recruiting everybody with no exception. And that goes to 1 Corinthians 13:13, love, faith, hope. But put it in the right order. I have hope and faith that you'll learn to love others. Missing word has always been others. Call us directly. Our number's all over the internet. Have you noticed that it's near impossible, if not 100% impossible, to speak with any existing leader because they're too far up the chain of command? The gatekeepers keep blocking. And we exposed that when we were out in California at, I believe it was Heavenly Resort, Lake Tahoe. So we're asking to talk to everyone in the world with no exception, so we can finally live in the utopia of God's heaven as he designed it here on earth billions of years ago. So we'll finish up. More than sufficient. This remains the most critical $500 million document, the cancel restraining order from Cobb County tied to terrorist Robert D. Rose. Here's the original TPO based on my Marietta Police Department report. Here is the current location of Robert D. Rose's assets in Canton, and here are the original lowest hanging fruit of my assets of DuncanClaim.org. It's my insurance policies and all the other claims. This is the most prolific system of total energy savings, and it's all about free speech. This is our number one supporters, high-tech prayer breakfast. And this is the answer. We, God's people, pick every project and reinvest everything back into our communities worldwide. This is Bitcoin, which is the biggest scam of all time. And here's the proof that it's the biggest scam reversed by Pitcoins. This is our current Sunday school.